Hi friends, good day. The last class we have seen the format of balance sheet, and today we conclude the format of statement of P&L account. Then we can work out problems. I hope you might have gone through it. Basically, you should remember the balance sheet which you have seen the last two classes. You should be focusing on the main headings and the subheadings. Depending upon the situation, slowly you will be habituated to remember this. Now, the statement of profit and loss account you should prepare as a part 2 item. That means when you work out the problem, comprehensive problem having P&L account and balance sheet, first you should start with the balance sheet format and then you should start with P&L account. Then my advice to all of you, like if you are having both to be prepared, first page you should leave it for balance sheet format and details will be showing as a notes to account. Then second page you leave it for P&L account, then you start notes to account. And that notes to account also you should start with balance sheet only. But the problem, the question you may be having now, that sir, without preparing profit and loss account, statement of P&L, how we will be able to know the result? That's true. That is why what we do normally, we do balance sheet, but we won't be filling up the column of reserves and surplus. We will be leaving the space in notes to accounts and balance sheet. Then that particular part we can fill up only after completion of part 2, because when you look at the the schedule 3, you need to follow schedule 3 thoroughly. There should not be any deviation. Like sir, without getting net profit we can't prepare balance sheet. That's true. So only that particular item we won't be writing it. We'll be leaving the space in notes to account for reserves and surplus approximate to 5 to 6 lines. Okay, and then that can be completed only after knowing the profit of the current year. It means you start with the balance sheet only but followed by P&L. But balance sheet will be completed only after completion of statement of P&L. So the name of the company, profit and loss statement for the year ended, you will be writing that in rupees. In this is figures for the current year. I have told you figures for the previous year reporting period. Now revenue from operations, we have written like note 1, like what we have learned in the balance sheet, the same thing, note 1, that I will be working out, showing you. Other income 2, simple. These two are total revenue. Revenue from operations, simple words, trading account, credit side, whatever we used to show, excluding closing stock, that is sales only. Revenue from operations can be taken as sales. Revenue from operations can be taken as sale if it is sale of product or sale of service, and if there is any excise duty, that is to be subtracted. That's it. Other income, whatever we used to show normally in P&L account credit side, all those items will appear under other income. So revenue from operation plus other income will become total revenue. Then from that we should deduct expenses. If you look at the expenses, we are having cost of materials consumed, purchases of stock in trade, changes in inventory of finished goods, comma, work in progress and stock in trade, employee benefit expenses, finance cost, depreciation and amortization expenses, other expenses. If you add all those things, you'll be getting total expenses. That is why in simple word I have given abbreviation for remember, CPC EFDO. Expenses I have given abbreviation, CPC EFDO. P, cost of material consumed. P, purchase of stock in trade. C, changes in inventories of finished goods, comma, work in progress and stock in trade. Then CPC EFDO, employee benefit expense. F finance cost, D depreciation, O other expenses. It has been given in the guidelines. I say guidelines for preparation of financial statements. Functional head is not important. Nature of head is important for classification of expense. Functional head means like what is that called as administrative expenses, selling and distribution expenses. That is not important. Here the nature of it. That is why we are following the nature of it. Cost of materials consumed. Generally, this is applicable for manufacturing entities like purchase of raw material, opening stock of raw material, add purchase of raw material, less closing stock of raw materials, and that you will be getting cost of material consumed. Purchase of stock in trade. If you are a trader, you buy stock in trade, that is to be taken here. Then changes in inventories of finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade. Inventory, four types inventory: raw material, work in progress, finished goods, stock in trade. But already raw materials has been deducted from cost of materials consumed. No, that is why we are left out with finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade. That is, finished goods and work in progress you are getting from, like, this is manufacturing related activities. Stock in trade means purchase stock in trade that has been unsold is to be taken. Now here you should observe the changes in inventory. Changes in inventory means here we will be showing that later on. Opening inventory minus closing inventory. If opening inventory is more, positive. Closing inventory is more, you will be writing here negative. If opening inventory is more, no problem, we write positive. Closing inventory is more, you will be putting the amount in the negative value. Are you following, all of you? I think this is like normally simple example I'll give you. To take trading account, debit side, say 70, opening stock, closing stock 90. 70 minus 90. They are getting 90, negative, that negative 90 will be writing. If it is 170, 170 minus 90, then you are getting positive 80. This is what change in inventory. Sir, what about the purchases, sir? I'll give you the clarity. Say this is opening stock. Let me be realistic. How this will be taken to this particular format, let me tell you, taking stock in trade. The opening stock of trade is say 20. Purchase is say 80. Sales, of course, you know that sales will be taken. So closing inventory say 10. Now here purchase of stock in trade, you will be writing how much? 80. Change in inventory. Change in inventory means here opening minus closing. 10. Look at 80 plus 20. 100 minus 10. You are getting 90 only, you know, that is the logic. The sales, whatever your sales suppose 150, that will be taken where? Revenue from operations 150. Now look at the gross profit, for example. 150 plus 10, 160. 160 minus 100, 60. You can see 150 is total income. So only to explain the concept of change in inventory. 80 minus 10, 80 plus 10, how much? 90. 150 minus 90, you are getting gross profit of 60. No? That is the logic. This is clear. I think the format has been arranged vertically. That means you are not learning anything new. Instead of showing horizontally, you are showing that statement vertically. But this change in inventory is consisting of raw materials, finished goods, finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade. So how to remember? C for cost of material consumed, P for purchase of stock in trade, C for changes in inventory of finished goods, comma, work in progress, comma, and stock in trade. Is this clear? Then employee benefit expenses. Employee benefit expenses are relating to employee like salaries and wages, provident fund, employee stock option scheme. I think these will be taken as employee benefit expenses. Finance cost like interest on debentures, interest on short term loan, that can be taken as finance cost. Depreciation, amortization. Depreciation is on tangible assets, amortization is on intangible assets. Other expenses, the expenses which won't fit in the above category will be taken. It's very simple, no? All other things will be dumped to where? Other expenses. You know, other expenses mean whatever we used to show in profit and loss account. Apart from these, what are these? I think the first one, this one, and this one is related to manufacturing and trading account. Up to this, generally is related to which account? Manufacturing, trading. This employee benefit is like salary, wages, finance cost, depreciation is related to P&L account. And apart from the salaries, interest on debenture, depreciation, all other expense will be taken to which account? Other expenses part. So this is only my abbreviation. You don't have anywhere in the material, my dear friends. Just for you to remember, for doing the problem everywhere. If you are good enough in doing it, that's fine. Otherwise, you can this total revenue minus CPC, EFDO. You will be getting profit before exceptional and extraordinary items. And the numbers which I have given, I will be explaining later on. Whatever we have discussed is in detail I have given. Like in the examination, depending upon if you are having only one item, no need to write note 1. Implied. If you are having only one item, other income, no need. If you are having one or two or more, then you can write. Even one item, if you want to write, you can write, no issue. These notes I will be giving. So now what is that you are getting? Total revenue minus total expenses. Total revenue minus total expenses, you will be getting profit before exceptional and extraordinary. The total revenue 3 minus, this is 4 actually, which is missing. Total revenue 3, you can see. Total revenue 3 minus total expenses 4, will be getting profit before exceptional and extraordinary items. From that, if you adjust exceptional items, then you'll be getting profit before extraordinary items. And from that, if you adjust extraordinary items, you'll be getting profit before tax. From profit, I think this is not required. You got the clarity. From that, profit before tax, current tax means this year the tax which you should pay. Deferred tax means in future you should pay. And if you adjust that, then you'll be getting profit or loss after tax actually. But I think this is very rare cases you'll be coming across. Profit or loss for the period from continuing operations. That means you will be having sometimes business, some of the operations may be discontinued, some of the operations may be continued. That is why they are using continuing operation. But generally in the examination we will be stopping here. General examination will be stopping here. Profit, we say profit after tax. This is profit before tax minus tax. I think generally we say PBT minus T, profit after tax. This is generally we follow. Tell me profit before tax minus tax is profit after tax. Generally in the examination, these two also won't be there. Generally, which will not be there? Exception items will not be there. Generally, I have seen the problem. Extraordinary item. These two generally won't be there in the problem. If that is the case, we can say total revenue minus total expenses is profit before tax. Profit before tax minus tax, profit after tax. We discuss what is exceptional, what is extraordinary, just a minute. But before that, what is that? If just I am going by the format which is given there, profit or loss for the period from continuing operations minus profit or loss minus or plus adjustment of profit or loss from discontinuing operations then you get, and then from that tax expense of discontinuing operation, if you adjust profit or loss from discontinuing operation. First, what is that you are getting? Profit or loss for the period from continuing operation. Now you are trying to find out profit or loss from discontinuing operation. What is the time starting? Profit or loss from discontinuing operation, and we are adjusting tax expenses, then profit or loss from discontinuing operation. Then totally you will be getting then profit or loss from continuing operation plus profit or loss from discontinuing operation. Then you will be getting profit for the period. I repeat once again. First we will be getting profit or loss for the period from discontinuing operations. Then profit or loss from discontinuing operations minus adjustment of tax expenses. Then you are getting profit or loss from discontinuing operations. That means here you can see 11. What is 11th item? Profit after tax from continuing operations. 14. What is 14? Profit or loss from discontinuing operations. Then profit or loss from continuing operation plus profit or loss from discontinuing operation. Then you will be getting total profit. Is this there? Then earning per share equity. What is basic? Revenue by number of shares. Then when you will be having more shares, income will be diluted. You will be learning. Suppose if you are issuing bonus shares, then what happens? Earning per share will be diluted. I think this earning per equity share, basic earning per share, and because of issuing any additional shares, if there is any dilution in the income, that is to be reflected in the statement. That's it. That is earning per share, total income by number of shares will be getting earning per share basic and diluted. Dilution when you more number of shares, more number of shareholders or more number of shares have been allotted, income will be diluted. Now, I think these things generally we don't need. I repeat once again, profit or loss from the continuing operations. This is one item, and from that, what is that we are adjusting? Profit or loss from discontinuing operation and adjustment of tax expenses, and then profit or loss from discontinuing operation. Now, profit or loss from discontinuing operation, continuing operation plus profit or loss from discontinuing operation, then you'll be getting total profit. But I think this is simple, only you should remember which one. I think this all you can remember, my dear friends. Let me start with revenue from operation. You chant with me: revenue from operations, other income, okay, revenue from operations plus other income, then you will be getting total revenue. For expenses, I told you easy, remember CPC, EFDO. What is CSAR? Cost of material consumed. What is PSAR? Purchase of stock in trade. What is CSAR? Another C. This time C for changes of stock in trade, change of inventories of finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade. Then E means employee benefit expense. F means finance cost. D means depreciation and amortization. O means other expenses. Then total revenue minus total expenses is profit before tax. From the profit before tax, if you deduct tax, you'll be getting profit after tax. Generally, that is what we'll be doing. Okay, if you are having exceptional items also. So what is that we do? Profit before exceptional and extraordinary items. Then from that you adjust exceptional item. Then you are getting profit before extraordinary item. You adjust extraordinary item. Then you will be getting profit before tax. Profit before tax minus tax expenses, current year and deferred tax. Then you will be getting profit after tax. Okay. And if you are having continuing operation, this will become profit or loss of continuing, means the business is being continued. Some of the operation might have been discontinued. On that discontinuing operation, after the date of discontinuing operation, whatever profit or loss you are getting, from that you should adjust the tax expenses, then you will be getting profit or loss of discontinuing operation. You get total profit, profit of discontinuing operation, profit or loss of continuing operation plus or minus profit or loss of discontinuing operation, will be getting total profit. Now you should learn about exceptional items. Here I have written. It falls in ordinary activity. Exceptional items is ordinary activity only, but it is only material. Material means which is having some relevance to our business. What are those exceptional items? Means it won't happen regularly, very rarely happen. Profit or loss on sale or termination of an operation. Discontinuing operation, I told you. And by discontinuing, you may be getting some profit or loss. I am not talking about that discontinuing operation. Here, profit or loss on sale or termination of particular activity, and that can be taken as exceptional item. Profit or loss on disposal of fixed asset. And don't confuse yourself. This is profit or loss on sale or termination. Discontinuing is different. Termination, discontinuing means you don't want to do. Is this clear? This is discontinuing something which is different. Discontinuing means that for the time being you kept hold. But this is you sold it. And that profit or loss on sale or termination of an operation can be taken as exceptional item. Similarly, profit or loss on disposal of fixed asset can be taken as separate as exceptional item. But generally, this won't be, you won't be coming across this. You may come across which one? This one. Profit or loss on disposal of fixed assets. Is clear? This can be taken as exception item. Example, accounting standard as Schedule 3 has not given any definition of exception item, but in the format they have given. But so far, let me tell you, I have seen so many problems. We never had any exception item in the problem, but I have given an example. Extraordinary items. These are not to occur frequently. What are extraordinary items? Loss due to earthquake. Earthquake won't happen regularly. Once in a while. Natural calamities, we can say. Losses due to natural calamities can be taken as extraordinary item. Okay. So these examples I have given. Let me start with first note 1. What is the note 1? I should start revenue from operations. I am writing notes to accounts. Revenue from operations. This is note 1. Revenue from operations. In revenue from operations, what are the activities, what are the items which we should show? I am writing here. Sale of product or sale of services. You are writing amount in rupees. This is current year, previous year. For all items, you will be writing that. Then some other operating activities. I can give the example of commission. Everything I won't be writing previous year, but I think generally this information will be given. This is very rarely they will be giving. From this, D, if at all any excise duty is levied, at all any
I didn't quite get that. Would you mind rephrasing?
okay, if at all any excise duty is given, excise duty that is to be subtracted. Okay, this is your revenue from operations. I got the space I've written here. Okay, notes to account 1 is completed. I should have written here, but I have not seen the. That's a plain paper. I think you'll understand it now. Revenue from operations I've already given. Now note 2. Note 2. Other income, interest income, interest income. It is in case of a company other than a finance company. For finance company, it is revenue from operation. For others, it is other income. In case of a company other than a finance company. Okay. B. Dividend from subsidiary companies, holding and subsidiary. Then next, dividend income from maybe also having in other companies other than subsidiary companies. Dividend income from companies other than subsidiary companies. Other than subsidiary companies. Then net gain or loss on sale of investments. Maybe sometimes you'll be selling your investment, that can be taken here. Okay. The next one, other non-operating income. Any other non-operating income. Next, sometimes you may be getting some foreign currency transaction of translation that you will be learning in branch accounts, foreign branches. When you are converting the foreign branch currency into Indian currency, then the foreign currency keeps on changing. Foreign exchange rate keeps on changing, and because of that, you may get sometimes a gain or loss. That is what. So net gain here I am writing income. No, net gain on foreign currency transaction of translation of translation. Other than considered as finance cost like interest on loan, etc. That is what. Other than considered as finance cost. Foreign currency transaction other than finance cost will be taken here. But these two things generally DEF very rarely you may come across. But having said a problem, you may get it also. I think this is your total. Okay. So we have seen revenue from, I think by mistake I have taken there is a gap. But you got notes to account revenue from operations is clear. And then I told you note to other income. Then note 3. My dear friends, since we are continuing separate format, I am writing note 1, note 2, note 3. If you are continuing with the balance sheet, you don't write note 1, note 3. Last class we have said note 18. Then note 18, then revenue from, if you are continuing the problem, revenue from operations will become, so note 19, other income will become note 20. That continuation you should give. Since the format I am explaining, I am writing as a note 1, note 2, note 3, etc. Are you following? In the examination, the note is to be continued along with the balance sheet note. Suppose balance sheet note number 11 is closing. There I have given 18 in detailed explanation. Suppose you are having only 10 notes in balance sheet. Then revenue from operation will become 11. If you are having only 4 notes in balance sheet, only few items notes are there, then revenue from operation will become fifth. That is the continuation. But here I am giving note 1, note 2, note 3 to explain the format. There I have written. But in the examination, you continue accordingly. The note after balance sheet. The note number after balance sheet note number. Next. Note 3. Cost of materials consumed. Cost of materials consumed. Here I am writing opening stock of materials. Add purchase of material, generally like raw material, less less closing stock of materials. Again, first column is current year, this is previous year. Then you will be getting cost of materials consumed. Then we will go to note 4. Note 4. Changes in inventories. Change in inventory when we talk about opening stock and closing stock. Opening stock and closing stock. Here we will be having work in progress, right? Work in progress like this. Then finished goods, then total. This is the total to be taken. Okay. The next one, note 5, employee benefit expense. Employee benefit expense. Here I told you employee benefit expenses are salaries and wages, contribution, provident fund, and other funds which are related to employees. Employee stock option plan, employee stock, employee stock purchase plan, that you will be learning in group 2, my dear friends. This topic you are learning in group 2 CA Inter. Don't write as a format. This will be learning in group 2 CA Inter. Is this clear? Just to explain, I have written, otherwise you'll be having confusion. This will be learning in group 2 CA Inter, employee stock option plan, employee stock purchase plan, then employee staff welfare expense. Simple words, any expenses related to employee will be taken into this thing. First column is current year, second column is previous year. You all are aware of. The next one, note number 6. Finance cost. In this A, interest expense. B, other borrowing cost. Other borrowing cost. Any other interest which you pay here. See, this we have discussed already. Here I have explained you. Net gain on foreign currency transaction translation other than considers finance cost. If it is gain or loss is related to finance cost, which should be taken here. If it is not related to finance cost, will be taken where other income. Are you following? If it is net gain on foreign currency transaction translation other than considers finance cost, is taken under other income. Otherwise, it will be taken as finance cost. Like interest on interest on loan on foreign funds. You'll be converting like into the Indian currency. You may get a loss that comes under finance cost, not the same thing. Applicable net gain or loss on foreign currency on foreign currency transactions and translation. Is this clear? Then we can go for the seventh item. Note 7. Note 7 is depreciation and amortization. Now you calculate depreciation on building, etc. Like building. Or if you are going through tangible assets, through that one also you can get depreciation, and that depreciation directly can be taken to the problem. Building, planted equipment, vehicles, tangible part, office equipment. Few examples I am giving. Depreciation on current year depreciation. We mean to say brands, intangible, computer software, etc. The depreciation and amortization is related to which year here? Current year and previous is what you should know. Last class we have seen gross block, depreciation, net block. That is written down value. So there we need current year depreciation, no? Okay, that is to be taken into consideration. The last one, other expenses. I told you all other examples, other expenses. Here, consumption of stores and spare parts. Then B, stores and spare parts means where you will be using in manufacturing activity, stores and spare parts. Power and fuel, this also generally we take as a manufacturing expenses. As I told you, in corporate accounting, no distinction between manufacturing, trading, etc. Only you prepare statement of P and L, it includes everything. Power and fuel, the rent, then repairs to building, then repairs to machinery, repairs to machinery, insurance, then rates and taxes. When you talk about taxes, excluding taxes on income. And you know that we have deducted tax from there, no? For corporate entities, we have learned in CA Foundation, income tax is a business expense. For non-corporate entities, we treat as a personal expense, drawings. Except except firm income tax paid, except firm income tax is a business expense. For partners income tax or sole property income tax is taken as a drawings. But for corporate entities, income tax is a business expense. So this is rates and taxes other than taxes on income, because taxes on income will be taken to statement of P&L, no? Profit before tax minus after tax. Then miscellaneous expenses or sundry expenses. Next, uh, payment to auditors. Payment to auditors as payment to auditors as a auditor for taxation matters, for taxation matter, for company law matters, for company law matters, for management services, for management services, for other service, etc. And we also can write, that's it. I think this can be taken as payment to auditors. And nowadays we are also seeing expenditure on corporate uh, social responsibility, on corporate social responsibility. I told you in foundation social responsibility accounting. When society is giving something to me, it is in in my turn to give something back to society. And whatever expenditure you are incurring on corporate social responsibility also is also to be taken into consideration. Okay, I think these are the other expenses which we should be considering. You following, all of you? Any other items are there, like provision for bad debts? It can be taken here. Like I am writing here, I A provisions. If you feel material, okay. I think I've given the example of other expenses and I've given the example of depreciation. I think this you know. Finance cost simple, employee benefit expense simple, changes in inventory simple, cost of material consumed simple, and other income simple. And here I have given revenue from operations. Okay, I think with this, let me conclude for the day that today we have learned the format of statement of P&L. I've told you already adjustments, you need not worry, whatever the adjustments we have learned there, that holds good in your normal final accounts. And then very rarely you'll be having more adjustments, but generally the problem will be simple. When we look at the problem, you'll understand. So what I'm planning, initially one or two problems I'll be focusing on balance sheet. Then we can go for comprehensive problems. 6 to 7 problems we work out on this financial statement. Then in continuation of this, we can go for some other chapters relating to corporate entities. Okay. So I think the format, this is what I thought is useful, because if I give you printed version, sometimes it may be difficult. We don't have such in most of the books. The printed version is something is lengthy, different, lot of literature. I think that literature, unless you are into practice field or like into real time working environment, I think maybe sometimes it will be difficult. It's not that difficult, but I think as a student, I think whatever is material for you to learn the format and the notes, maximum I have provided. Okay, and anything which we come across in the problem at that particular point of time, I will be explaining to you why this adjustment has been done, why this has been taken to particular note, etc. If you anything which has not been covered will be taken care when we work out the problems. Okay, so keep practicing. Good luck. Thank you very much. God bless you all. We'll meet in the next class. Right.